Hi guys, I hope you're good since last video. So this time we are going to work on a local S3 bucket, but it's an open source project, so you'll be able to have your own S3 bucket. It's called Minio. So we're going through the Google browser just to go into this repository, just to see it quickly. You got all the commands here. There's a Docker install, so that's how I'm gonna install it using Docker. So that's for the server side, and there is another side which is the client side that we're gonna install later in another terminal. So here are different descriptions in how you can use it, same as the S3 buckets. How you can join also the server, so from your client. So let's just go through this quickly, look at it a bit, and after we're gonna go into the terminal. MCMB here, aliases, and here are the commands. Okay, so let's use the Docker install. So first I'm gonna start the Docker service. I'm using a WSL2 on a Windows computer, as I prefer using Linux. Now we got the status, Docker is running. We're pulling the Minio image, and after now we're gonna run it on port 900, which is the CLI port, on 901, which is the console port. We're not using any persistent volumes, so this is just for demonstration. We got it installed, and now we got this message giving us different endpoints. We're gonna use this endpoint, which is the console endpoint. Okay, so I use the endpoint localhost 9001. Minio admin, that's the user, and the same for the password, Minio admin. So that's the default passwords. So here we are in. So there's this left side panel with those different tabs. Here, identity, we can create a user. Different aspects, configurations. We can just pass through those different configurations very quickly later on. So let's first create a user, so we don't use the root user. Let's call it Creditizens. For the password, let's put something very secret. Okay. So as you can see here, we can assign different policies to that user directly. So console admin, diagnostic, read only, but I'm not gonna set anything for this user from here. I'm gonna do it at the group level. So this is saved. We got the user. We're gonna create a group. Let's call this group admin. So we can join the user from here, but we can do it also in another way. We just save this. Okay, we go back in and we can add members also here like that. So we just add Creditizens member and now we set the policies. Console admin, policy, diagnostic, read only. I'm just going to put them all. Read and write only. So that's like a super admin. And you can create some other groups if you want and add different users to those groups with different permissions. You can create groups. Let's use here app, for example, for an application to be able to write to the bucket. So to add elements. After we do the same policies and going through the policies, you have read and write. You can put that one. Or if you want only write, there's also that option. You can put both, read and write only. I think read and write will take precedence. So just put let's be logic, write only. That's it. So I'm just showing you this part. It's just like IAM policies. So it says on the right side, adding groups lets you assign IAM policies to multiple users at once. That's the technique we're using. This one is the app read. So you can do it also like that, and this one will be the read only. And after you can use those different users to access the different buckets that you're going to create and have your application following its own logic. So here app, read and write. We're just going to add one last policy to that one, which will be the read and write policy. We save. So we have 4 different groups, 1 user for the moment, admin user, service account. So we can create a service account for that user. And the application is going to use the service account to access the application. So it won't be a program. This is to access programmatically to the bucket. You won't be able to use the username and password of the user for that. Now add an expiry date. So access key inherits the policies explicitly attached to the parent user and the policies attached to each group in which the parent user has membership. So here we didn't put anything for the user, we just put the policies into the group and we added the user to the group. So the user and this access key will get that and here this part is just telling you that the access key and the secret key are randomized, so given to you, but you can actually delete those and add your own access keys and secret key. So you can replace it. After creation of any key, you will be given the opportunity to view and download the account credentials. So just copy and paste, but you can also download a file having those informations. So access keys support programmatic access by applications. So that's the one I was telling you before. And you can specify an optional JSON formatted IAM policy to further restrict access keys. So this is the same as in AWS S3 buckets. So you can modify the optional access key IAM policy after saving. So let's put the 1st of February here. add the name also, description and the comment. So for the name, I'm just gonna say admin. Admin access. And the description, full admin access to buckets. You don't need to fill everything, but I'm just filling it for the tutorial. Creditizens user in admin group. So the key will have access will have same access level maybe as administrator. Access level as administrator. Okay. So we create, and as described, we get here the opportunity to save it, and with this warning telling us that we can see it only once, it will be displayed only now. Okay, so we got our user service account to access to the buckets, and there's no policies attached to the user but to the group. And that's the different groups that we created. Okay, so you've seen the whole process. I think you'll be able to do it by yourself and create your own user, create the access keys for that user, so you'll be able to use your application and communicate with the different buckets. But we're not done yet. Let's go just through it a little bit. We have some events, configuration here. You can set a region, so you can do your custom regions, compression of files, API, a scanner, so for the API, maximum of requests, allow the origin, the different, you can just set different origins that are allowed or different IPs, etcd, so you can have database etcd endpoint. You need to provide the certificate, the sets, the keys, logger webhook, audit webhook, and audit Kafka. That's for the configurations. That's the profile. So there's some metrics that you can also get. Health, performance, and the license. It's we were using the free license, EGPL, and here are the other ones on the right side. So site replication. You can also create your own tiering. So different bucket tiering, events, and here the monitoring. Okay, on the buckets. So that's a little tour of Minio. Now we will be able to use the terminal to try to interact with it, just to demonstrate how to interact with it with our user Creditizens and the service account that you have created. So I'm gonna sign out, and before I'm just gonna try to log in with Creditizens. Now we've created it. Okay, so we are in. So in the meantime, let's install the client. Okay, the binary is working. After the installation, I might need to move it. So let me check. Yes, I need to move it. So you see it's here, MC, in green. I'm gonna make it executable. So that's steps that I didn't show you, but you need to make it executable, and after maybe just move it to your user bin or just the bin. Me, I'm just gonna move it to the bin or user local bin. So you can set the path where you put your binary files. Just let's get rid of this. Okay. So now we can put it there, MC. It's working. So we got the Minio client and all the commands. And let's try to join by using the alias Creditizens Minio. So MC alias set Creditizens -Minio will be the name of how we name the server. Provide the IP address. Provide the tokens and the key. So it wasn't able to communicate. So I tried on port 80. I might need to use the right port. So it was, I think, 9000 and 9001. So 192.168.2106.246. Now let's try 9000, which is the CLI, or 9001. S3 API request must be made to the API port. So you see 9001 is the console port, so it's not going to work. And so we need to try to join from the API port, which is the 9001. Okay, the access key ID you provided doesn't exist in our records. Okay, I know why. So it doesn't exist because I've restarted the Docker. So you see I'm trying now to log in as a Creditizens. I didn't use any persistent volumes, so you better use persistent volumes as I lost all the data. So I need to log in again and recreate the user and the keys to be able to access to it programmatically. Okay. So now you know how to do it. You get the chance to see it twice, but this time it's going to be pretty quick. I'm just going to make it. Here, put the name. Mega secret password. We don't use. We save. We go to the groups. We create a group. We just call it admin. We join from here the user. Save it. Here add the policies. So you know how to do it now. As you've seen it twice. You won't get any issue with that. Good. User is set. Sign out. We sign in as the user. Good. And now we can create the access keys. Okay, that's how we retrieve the state of what we were doing before. So this option I didn't show you, I just read it, but you can see here, you can change the policy from here for this access key. We're just gonna allow everything. Okay. So this is same as the Amazon S3 policies. Let's just put an expiry, same as before, put in February. That's good. Just for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm just going to put a name, description, and comment very quickly. Admin app, access, description, access programmatically for apps. The comments, just say we're using Creditizens, user and group, admin, permissions, policy, to have admin access. Okay, 2 buckets. We create this. I'm just going to save it. There's no buckets, but what we can do, we can create a bucket straight away from here. So our first manipulation will be to join this server, and after to retrieve this bucket. That will be the proof that we can access to it using an application, for example. So the bucket is created. I'm going to use the same command as before. MC alias is a typo. Creditizens, so MC alias set Creditizens Minio. So that's the name I want to give to this server, this alias. The alias for this server at this location, 192.168.106.246. And after we put the access keys on the token. Okay. Didn't work. What did I miss? Something silly, as usual. Dial port 80. I missed the port. Yes. So let's call the same command, and we're going to use the port. Set 9000. That's the one which is the API, and now yes, successfully joined, added Creditizens Minio. So now that we've done that, we're going to try to list the buckets using the ls command. So mcls Creditizens Minio. And here we got the bucket. That's the one we created using the terminal. The console. Test Creditizens buckets. That's the one. So we can delete it. And I have a little break. So take this time to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate to join the Grass Token crypto project. The link it's in the bio. MB. So now MB means make a bucket. We're going to create a bucket. But I want to show you different things about these commands. The commands we're typing, they can also interact with our own file system, so you have to be careful with that. So MCMB, Shibuya, Mongakis approve. We've created that. We got a nice message, but you see here, when I refresh the page, there's no bucket created. Why? It's because we've created this one in our own file system. It's not a bucket, it's just a normal folder. So you have to be careful with that. You see on the right side in blue, just before Terraform and after requirements. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Clear. So I'm going to repeat the command to two different ways, but before let's just get this command mc admin informations. Here when you get this information about the alias that you created, you get the endpoint, the uptime, you get some other informations. There is also, when you install the Minio client, there's a play. It's an example of buckets created that you can navigate through. So mcls play. And here you can see all the buckets that they have set and that you can navigate through just to see how deep it goes and how you can organize your own buckets. You see there's different, there's a name here, and after there's a long string with numbers. So this can give you an idea. And you need at least 3 characters to create a bucket. It can't be less than 3 characters. So now let's show the example that we want to show. Is that you can create files on your own system. So you have to be careful with that, because what you want to do is to access the bucket, not your own file system. So here I'm going to create one here, and I'm going to create one in the remote server, which is the bucket, the Minio server. So mcmb local file system. That's I'm going to call it like that so we can identify it. Bucket, which is not a bucket actually, it's just a folder. And we can see it's here in the middle. You see, I got it here in my computer. So there's just a folder that I added in my computer. So now let's create one, but in the Minio server. And for that you need to change this command and append it to look like a path with the alias that you've created before. And let's call it this one remote file system bucket. Now it has been created, but not in the local file system. Here, refreshing the page, we can see that it's created as a normal bucket. That's what we want. And what we can do, we probably... So you see you can enable encryption, versioning. There are some other commands that you can use for that. But what we can do, we can upload a file and try to retrieve the file. So magic upload. So the file is in. It's a picture. The picture is in. Now let's try to retrieve that picture. From here, we do a ls, and we can see the picture. You see, we can see that this bucket now is not empty. The picture is in, and we can read what is in the bucket. Let's try to copy. So to get that picture from the bucket to our own file system, using the mccp command with the name of the file at the end. So this is the complete path, but we got an error. So I'm showing you intentionally those errors because I want you to not make the same mistakes. Object does not exist. So it doesn't exist because of the formatting, or it doesn't exist because the command is not right. So to avoid that, I suggest you to tap just MC. And there's here a tip. In tip, use the auto completion. So we are going to activate the auto completion. So using tabulation, we will be able to have the auto completion on here. So it says that we have a positive message telling us that the auto completion has been activated, which is good. Now let's try to auto complete some different stuff. I'm just going to delete this and try to use a tabulation. Now I'm using tabulation, but it doesn't work. Let me delete all just to see. MC, copy, tabulation. You see, I got the local file system. So I know why it's not working. Because you see in green it says enable auto-completion in your bash RC file. Please restart the shell. So I need to restart the shell actually for the auto-completion to work. So here you see, even if I tap the name of the alias of the bucket, it is not going to do the auto-completion. So let's exit. I'm using WSL, so I'm just going to restart it like that very quickly. We are back in. Okay, that's good. So now we're back in. It should work now. I'm just going to clear this page. Let's clear. And now MC Minio client, copy, and now it's okay. Now I'm using tabulation. Just write tabulation and tabulation. It shows me the file, the full path. But this also is not going to work, even if I miss the point. I didn't put the point to say I want to copy it here, but you need to put the point first and to put those brackets. Here we go, and now we got the file. And let's check if we got it. Just let's scrape the name of the file, which is DALI. Just put dal. Should find it. And we got the file in our system. That's good. Let's just show all the files to show that it's in our file system. You see, here it is with the other files. Okay. So I wanted to show you this Minio. Minio look like an S3 bucket. Has a lot of potential. I suggest you to use it for your applications. Static files. As you can see, you can retrieve the files, you can set permissions, and you can do your business logic around that. So don't forget, you can join the Grass Token crypto project. Link is in the bio. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I hope that you like this video. See you next time.